What is up, boys and girls? Smitty and I are live, and we got a kind of a cool slate today. I like today's slate. Um, the only game I wish Pittsburgh Detroit was on the main slate. But other than that, I like tonight's slate.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty good slate. There's a lot of good offenses, and ownership's pretty spread out. Looks like it's going to be a pretty good slate.
Yeah, it was a weird weekend in baseball. But we can all rejoice. Angel Hernandez is finally retired. He retired. So, whatever. They paid him. They got it done. Listen, it sucks it took this long, but kudos to baseball for finally they had to get it done, right? Like, the guy was egregious at this point. So, so let's get into some pitching today. I'm in actually a pretty small pool for me. I kind of got it narrowed down, and we'll start at the top. For the high price guys, for me, only one I really want exposure to is Cole today. I'm not pitching an 11K Wheeler because the Giants don't strike out enough. Freddie, I think, is grossly mispriced at 10-5 versus the Cubs. The Twins strike out enough if I'm going to pay up, and his ownership's enough, I'll go there. And Freddie's the chalk right now. Like, Freddie's 30%, like, at 10-5. Like, it's making me want to actually probably play some Cubs bats. And I just don't pitch Nestor Cortez. That's just a personal thing.
Yeah. For me, 9K and above, the only one I even have interest in is Cole Reagans. Other than that, I'm probably not going to play any of them.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like, it's Cole or me. Houston doesn't strike out enough. They walk a lot. Castillo could have a bunch of walks. So we know Gosman's going to be the chalk. He's $8,500. Listen, if he doesn't have 10 Ks today, he might not have 10 Ks this season. Like, this is his spot to, like, turn it on. And you need exposure today. You just got to eat his ownership. We've seen how, like, their lineup today actually has a higher K rate than the Mariners, which is almost impossible at this point. But I'm going to go Gosman. Where are you going to land in GPP on the field on him?
I honestly had a thought that I might just lock him into 150, but I never do that. So I don't know. I'm going to be above the field though. If he comes in around 40, I'll probably end up around 60, I would say.
Okay. Yeah. And again, $8,500, this K side. We know Gosman eases into the seasons. I like that. And then for me, my pool is like real simple after that. I haven't pitched him yet this year, but I'm throwing Brown today. Seattle just Ks enough. Listen, he might only go 4 innings, but he can still get 10 Ks. I'd like a win, but Seattle's that they just K too much for me at $6,500. And my weird spot is if you want to punt a lineup, go Waldron Brown, and you're only at 12-7 pitching. Like, that lets you get real fancy real fast with bats. So Waldron will make my pool. And for me, that's it. I'm not going anywhere else today in single entry 3 max. Like, I got 4 guys, and that's what I'm rolling with.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I like Waldron and Brown. I don't know what I do with Brown yet. I might have a few Mariners stacks. That might be what I do, just because you know how he is. And I do like Waldron. And my only other pitcher I would say that I have pretty large interest in is Jesus Luzardo.
I don't hate Luzardo today, especially at his ownership right now. He looked good last game. It gives you some options there. And again, at 8K and under 10%, like, I'm totally okay. I think that's a lot. I like his value there. But I'm not going Max. I'm not going Freddie. I'm not going Dunning or McKenzie or SWR or Brown. I'm just right. And if you want to go to any of those other guys, play me head to head. Right? Like you send me some cash lineups if you want to pitch any of those other guys. I'll join. So we'll start looking at lineups. We got some lineups. we got a weird lineup that Smitty and I were talking about before that we don't understand, like why they're going there. I'm all in on the Braves today. I get Acuna's out, but Harris, like Riley, for me, it's Riley and Murphy are back. Harris is at the top of the lineup. My biggest issue is I can only play 5 of them. That's my only struggle with Atlanta today is getting there. Riley Olsen's price low. And I like the lefties, right? Like I might get weird. I might do a Harris, Olsen, Albies, Jared stack and just take the 4 lefty bats. Right, because Duvall and Jared are going to have to play a bunch now with Acuna out. They're not going to be getting pinch hit for each other until Atlanta brings in another outfielder. So I'm all in, and Max isn't owned enough for me to play the Nats against them today.
Yeah. I have some interest in the Braves too, specifically the lefties. Like you mentioned, he's really struggled against lefties. He's been pretty good against righties, so I prefer the lefties. As far as the Nats, I have a little bit of interest, but I would have more if Fried was chalk. But it's mainly getting to the top part. Abrams, Senzel looks okay, and Keibert Ruiz is a cheap catcher option I like.
Yeah, I put that in my article. I talked about Ruiz. Like I put him in my catcher spot. Like again, $2,400. It's a decent punt spot. The Royals and Twins, I'm not going to the Twins today. They've cooled off, gone back down to earth. And you heard us both say we like Cole. While SWR has been, frankly, fantastic in terms of what we expected for his price, I'm just not going there. The total 7.5 in this game for me. I like the Royals, but I mean, in a single entry 3 max, there's just too many other spots I like today.
Yeah, I like the Royals. I probably won't get to them in my main lineup or even a 3 max, but in 150, I'm going to be over the field on them.
I can see that. I am not playing chalk Blue Jays. I just refuse to do it. It's like I just can't do it. Like I get Woodford's pitching. They're just, like I just can't do it. I'm not going to go there. The one thing I don't hate is like maybe like playing a Vaughn or a Pham against Gausman if you got enough lineups going, just at his ownership to have the other side. But again, the Sox don't interest me. They can't hit.
Yeah, I like the Jays more before Clevenger got scratched. I just like targeting him. I think they still look okay. Jansen's kind of expensive, but I like Schneider if I was going to pick a bat there.
Yeah, I'm not going there. The more I see Freddie's ownership, the more I kind of want a couple Cubs bats. I want the lineup though. My only challenge is I want to see. I just feel like they're going to do something weird. And I like Ben Brown. I'm a Ben Brown fan, but man, the Brewers are just rolling right now. It's a division matchup. They're at home. It's one of a few games that the total isn't in the 7s. And I really like, I like the lefty bats there today.
Yeah, I have a little bit of interest in the Cubs, mainly one-offs. As far as the Brewers, I kind of like Ben Brown too. If he had a little bit longer leash, I'd probably play him today.
Yeah, that's my issue with Ben is they're not letting him stretch out, even though they should, because he's been fantastic versus righties. But they're keeping him at that, twice through a lineup, really at the most, and they're not even always letting him do that. So that's just my issue. As we look at like Milwaukee versus ownership, I like where they're landing versus projections. They're pretty low owned. I like lower owned every time. I'll say it, like when I get off those, the way I like to play, I always end up doing something stupid. Which is I don't like playing ownership in baseball. So Diamondbacks Rangers is a weird spot to me today. I mean, the total is 8.5. But Dunning and Fott aren't ever going to light the world on fire. But at the same time, if they both went 5 or 6 innings, had 3 Ks and limited each side to a run or two, would we be shocked? Not really. I'm just kind of indifferent to this game, other than right, like Seager, right, like if you go pull his metrics versus what Fat throws, like he murders the ball. Um, and I like Lowe and Carter if I'm going to go there.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same about this game. It's a weird environment where both pitchers are pretty decent, and neither offense has been great lately. So it's anything can happen. But I think it's Corbin Carroll, Jock Peterson, and Corey Seager, and that's basically it.
Yeah, I mean, I like Jock at $4,100. He's hitting third today. Um, he's just always the pinch hit worry. That's what we saw with the Reds over the weekend. That sucked. So we had to do that. Right? You get all your guys, and they all get pinch hit for last night. All right, we're in Colorado. The Rockies send out probably the weirdest lineup they've sent out all year. Tristan McKenzie is not good against left-handed pitching. So what did Colorado do? Colorado put 7 right-handed bats in the lineup tonight. I don't understand. Explain to me explain it to me. Like, what are they doing? I don't understand.
Yeah, I have no idea unless they have something that we don't know. But all we know is McKenzie's horrible against lefties, so I don't get it at all.
I don't understand. Like, I feel like that. Like, it's almost like they got insider. Do they got insider knowledge? Right? Like they know something. They kind of tipping pitches. I don't know. Right? Everybody's going to go to Cleveland. If you're playing MME, you have to have exposure. J-Ram continues to murder the ball. He's also $6,400. I'll be interested to see the lineup they throw out today. If they mix it up a little. We don't have a lineup from them yet. I'm torn. I mean, I understand going there, and they could be must-have, but if they're like double the ownership in the field, that's just not what I like doing for single entry.
Yeah, I prefer the Rocky side. I hate the lineup, but none of them are over 5K, so it's pretty interesting there.
Especially Guardians, McMahon, right?
Yeah, McMahon's my favorite bat. The Guardian side, it's just Guardians are a good team to play in cores because they make a lot of contact normally. So it's kind of scary. It's scary to fade them, but I'm going to be underweight.
Yeah, they might make a 3 max. My issue is I love the Yankees and I love the Braves today. So right, like we got the Yankees tonight against Canton in Anaheim. Perfect SoCal summer, 70, nice little wind. Totals 8.5. I love that Torres is finally heating up. He was off to that horrid start. He's only $3,800 still. Stanton, Verdugo, Judge, Soto, Velope. I imagine you're going to probably end up pretty overweight on them today.
Yeah, they're probably my favorite stack on the board. So I'll be overweight on all of them, just fitting them any way I can.
I really hope they run out Wells and not Trevino at catcher. Cannon's been a little worse against lefties. So it's there. And then I don't know. I want nothing to do. Like the Angels have treated us well, but again, I just don't mess with Cortez. Like I don't really hit against him. I don't throw against him. He's just one of those weird guys for me.
Yeah, you never know what he's gonna do. I like some of the Angels righties, like Adele, Ward, Pilar, and Ohape. But other than that, I just prefer the Yankee side.
Yeah, and they let you get price wise. They let you get some bigger bats. We know that I like Hunter Brown today. You heard me say it. I get it's playing with fire, but that Seattle K rate is just too much. The total's only 7 in that game, guys, which makes me like him more. And Castillo, is still Castillo. They just, Houston doesn't K a ton. They walk a lot. I'm not going there at Houston pricing. They've also been a little cold. Bregman cooled back off. Tulley's cooled off. Jordan's cooled off. So just not the spot I want to attack tonight.
Yeah, I won't really have any Astros. I have some interest in Mariners just because I think Hunter Brown's going to get pretty high up there. So I like Brown, but I like getting to a few bats from the Mariners.
Yeah, I mean, if Hunter can stay around this 20%, like I'm gonna be really excited. I don't know that he can. I think we're gonna see about an hour and a half from now a different number there. But again, Marlins Padres. I kind of like the pitching side of this game tonight. Neither offense really scares me. We don't have lineups yet, but I don't mind going there. So that's the one thing with Waldron, he hasn't been as good against lefties. So if I want some leverage, give me Jazz. Nick Gordon. Probably there.
Tim Anderson.
Gosh.
Yeah, I'm on the pitching side too. This game has a 7 total as well. I like both pitchers in this game. I don't really have any interest in the offense.
Yep, and then that's the same for the last game, right? Another 7 total, even though we got a little wind in San Fran. This is the cold time of year in San Francisco, guys. San Francisco doesn't actually warm up till September. It's well known, like June, July is, and even August is cold. In San Francisco, the ball doesn't travel as well. I'm not throwing an 11K Wheeler. Just they don't. Sure that they might play some guys, but the Giants are really matchup dependent, right? Like we're gonna do there. If Wheeler gets up there in ownership, I don't mind going to a $3,200 Patrick Bailey. Bailey's hit the ball decent. Again, if you really want to go to that game, that's a spot you can go. And again, this is a pitcher's park. It's not a hitter's park, even though there's a little wind. So I'm not really interested in the Philly side. But I get it if you want some late swap access.
Yeah, I think the Phillies would be a good stack if it was the opposite, if they were in Philly instead. But being in San Francisco, I don't really have a whole lot of interest in either team.
Yeah, if it was in Philly, it'd be another story. They also wouldn't give us a late spot. So,
Yeah.
like we wouldn't have that. But listen, guys, the books are telling us the total's 7. So, right, I mean, the last 3 games of the night, short of the Angels and Yankees, are all 7 total. So I'm gonna try to get out of the gate early and see how we can do there.
Yep.
Let's look, see if we got any updates. Yep. Yeah, not much right now. So, let's go back and finish looking at ownership. Let's who's coming in as. Yeah, I mean, Freddie at 31%. Freed's climbing up there, man. Freed's up to 24%. Like I might have to, go to Abrams or Senzel or something, right? Like, just to get a little access. If Hunter stays at 20, I'm good. And again, I'm not throwing a 11K 4th highest owned pitcher in Zach Wheeler tonight.
No, I do think the point you brought up earlier, pitching Brown and Waldron's really interesting. I like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to be my main entry because it lets me get to the Braves and the Yankees. Like That's why I liked it when I was like building stuff and put it together. I was starting to get like some pretty interesting lineups that I could get out of there. And again, like especially Brown, right? He's got that K upside. Like, if we go there, but that just like that lets me go like an Atlanta Yankees stack almost a full Atlanta Yankees. So there's, like I said, there's a good chance I go there just to get that exposure. So, and keep in mind, guys, Seager's, I know we said Arizona, Texas low. Dude, if Seager stays at like 3%, I'm gonna have a hard time not. I like stacking, but man, I'm gonna have a hard time not playing Seager at like 3% ownership tonight.
Yeah, he looks good.
So, right, I mean, he just, I could just see Fat land that sweeper slider up there and Seager just hitting it out of the stadium. So, all right, who you like? Who's your moonshot today, Smitty?
I'm going with Ryan McMahon today.
I like it. I'm staying with the Braves. They got him in leadoff now. I'm going with Michael Harris. I think he's gonna, and I like Jake Irvin actually, but I think he's gonna leave one up there, and Harris gonna get one out. He might even get one out to start the game. So
I like it.
All right, well, let's go have a good night and see you guys in Discord.